Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law through this channel. I'll be providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the $1 Million Challenge. So anybody who's not aware of this is a journey of investment of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategic or compound return investing. So the objective is try to get 201 trades, each with an average return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades, we do take into account losses. So for further details about how to join us for less than $9 a month, information is available in the description below. In today's video, we're going to be looking at MMAT Materials and asking the question, is the company facing bankruptcy? We're also going to be looking at MMTLP and the $1,275 per share asking price, and then also looking at bad news in terms of the markets, and that is fears of a recession hitting the market quite hard now. So before we get started, let's have a look at what's happening in the market. So in the first headline here from Reuters, we can see that the US recession scare is fueling a rally in bonds and the yield curve is flipping in view. So we can also see in terms of the market pricing in a 69% chance that Jerome Powell and the Fed are likely to cut rates by 50 basis points in September. And what we can also see here in terms of the fear and greed index, there is bad news here. And as we have just seen, the stock market has hit extreme fear for the first time since October 2023. So not great news there in the markets. And we can also see here in terms of the heat map, right now significant areas of red except for Apple, which did report positive earnings, and we're looking at potentially $2.9 trillion being wiped out, and it is right now, I can confirm, the worst day since the 2020 COVID crash. So very bad news there. And finally, significant news here from Intel. The stock has plummeted the most in 40 years as the company is suspending dividends, cutting jobs amid a significant restructuring. So I'm going to start by having a look at MMAT Materials and the 8K form that they submitted, and what I posted in response to this was that the company are saying they are aware of issues on the website and email system and other related IT systems which were significantly disrupted and taken offline. So we do know the website was offline for quite a while. It is now back on, and what the company has stated is upon detecting the disruption, the company immediately took steps to restore, contain and remediate the incident with cybersecurity experts. So on investigation, they are basically suggesting here that a former executive officer of the company deliberately deactivated and cancelled the renewal of the company's website. So I did ask a question, and that is with regard to George Palikaros, and I hope this allegation is not against you, George. I believe has not publicly responded anywhere to this, but I'm hoping it wasn't him. So let's have a look at the Form 8K, and obviously we've dealt with the cybersecurity incident, but the other event here, item 8.01, which I'd like to focus on, and that is with regard to July the 26th, and what the company is saying is that Metamaterial Technologies Canada, MTCT, has commenced bankruptcy proceedings by filing an assignment in bankruptcy under Section 9 of the Bankruptcy and Insolvencies Act of Canada. And basically they're saying the trustee will wind down the business of this company, make distributions, if any, to creditors in accordance with the applicable provisions of the Bankruptcy and Insolvency Acts, which again we can see this has been signed off by Uzi. So let's get straight ahead and have a look at a response from George, and he states here, MTCI is the headquarters of Meta in Halifax. It owned all the AR Fusion IP that companies like Apple, who contacted George early this year and were interested in the tech, so that's quite staggering, who I connected to the team for DD before they fired everyone, and other large companies. So George is making quite a substantial statement in terms of potential interest here from Apple. And then obviously what we can see here is the DD team have been fired. George also saying they owned IP patents developed in-house and had also acquired from Interglass and Google, an estimated potential 100 patents gone. So I do believe the company are not renewing letting patents go, and all the friendly zero interest debt by ACOA gone. So this is certainly not looking good for the company. But what George has stated here, he does know who the appointed receiver is. He is investigating. He believes that there could be some nefarious companies like patent trolls or competitors looking to take these assets on the cheap, and I think that certainly does make sense to me. And in his opinion, one of the key reasons or objectives of this happening from a Meta Materials point of view is to keep the directors on the board going in terms of them receiving significant salaries. So that is certainly one possible motive. He is interviewing law firms, possibly more than one, and looking at class and derivative actions, and they cannot hide from shareholders. So certainly very, very concerning there indeed. And reaction here from Crucial Max, he stated, does anyone else think a bankruptcy for Meta Materials would be quite convenient right now for the hedge funds? Shut it down. MMTLP and the truth gets buried, loses funding, so it seems like a play right from a hedge book fund brochure. So in response to this potential bankruptcy for Meta Materials and loss of evidence relating to MMTLP, we've had a response from M, who's tagging in George, and stated, in terms of the history of MMTLP and what happened, he stated, we begged you to help MMTLP, you stayed silent, then you split on us, and you posted, do not mistake my silence for inaction, then you did nothing. So George has responded, and what George has stated, yes, that is correct. He's still working on helping out more than you know. And what he's also stated, which I think is interesting, is as you will soon see. So I do look forward to an update on this, and I am hoping that George is able to share further information. So now let's have a look at an update from Scott in his potential lawsuit, which includes RICO and triple damages. And what he states here is he has got a few more blanks to fill in for 411 if anyone can help. So I think number one has been dealt with, and he does know who that is. And the question was, who is the author of the FOIA to the SEC and FINRA that led to the Sam Draddy email? So I believe Scott does have that information now, or I'm sure he will be aware. And the other one, which I think is number two, he states he needs two competing groups, obviously on a friendly situation, to create a scenario of a war game, or should we say an MMTLP war game, looking at calculating the true non-short squeeze value of MMTLP. So in other words, it looks like a hypothetical creation of the 2 days of lost trading. So we know approximately 165,000 shares were long. Potentially we could do a conference call space, white team, red team, etc. Obviously one representing attack, one representing defense, that kind of situation. And he's stating it's not urgent or critical, but in terms of the calculation that Scott has come up with, he states here he wants to have a defensible share price in his lawsuit, and as a baseline bottom dollar right now for his MMTLP shares, which currently have no value as they are not trading on a public exchange, and they are currently for a private company. He's basically saying here right now he's looking at $1,275 per share by his maths, but obviously this also needs to be further thought out and investigated. It could be higher. I certainly hope it could be higher. And finally, let's finish off by giving a shout out to one of the great calls on the Discord, which was MKDW. And I know a number of investors did make significant profits in this. It has been a hugely difficult day of trading, but if we have a look at the 5-day chart for MKDW, it was up in excess of 45%, closing at $3.22. So if you would like to get a copy of our weekly watch list, as well as the copy of our daily stock alerts, details are in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.